Hi, this is Tori with the Oracle Technology Network. We're reporting live from DevOps, and I've got members of the Java community that we're talking to today, and I'm real honored to talk to Brian Goetz. Brian.
Nice to be with you.
He is the chief architect for the Java language, and he just did the keynote this morning at DevOps. That was great.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about it. You actually talked about why did Lambdas take so long, right? And I thought that was an interesting answer. Could you share that with us?
Yeah. So this is a comment that we get quite frequently. When can we have it? People are excited to have these new language features, and depending on how you count, we could say that it took 3 years or 4 years or 6 years or 15 years, depending on how far back into history you want to go. But we started this project about 4 years ago. It was actually on stage at the keynote of DevOps 2009 when Mark Reinhold announced to the world that we were finally going to take the step of adding Lambdas to Java. And this was something that had built on ideas that had been in the community. I mean, the concept of Lambda Expressions has been around since before the days of silicon-based computing. But in the years previous, there had been kind of a vigorous debate in the community about if and when and how to add Lambdas to Java. And after that sort of initial set of debates burned out, we made the decision to actually go forward with it and do it. And it was about 6 months later that we really got started in earnest, and we've been working on it for the last 3.5 years. And the question that people ask is, all right, what have you been doing for those 3.5 years?
Right.
The things that we wrote on the slides 3.5 years ago and the things that we're delivering look somewhat similar, so what have we been doing since that time? And the reality is, it's easy to add a language feature if you're willing to let it look bolted onto the side. But the thing about language features is they don't exist in a bubble. They interact with all of the other features of the language that have been added in the last 15, 17 years. And so it was working out the interactions between Lambdas and other features and making sure that those interactions were smooth and predictable and free of sharp edges that really took the time. And the biggest example is one that people don't even see, is the interaction of two features that most people don't even pay attention to in their daily work: method overload selection and type inference. So much of our work was just overhauling the way these two features work together so that the code did what you expected it to do. And without doing that work under the surface, it would have looked bolted on, and people would have said, okay, Lambdas are a nice hack, but they nailed it on the side.
Right, and I saw the code today, and it didn't look hack-like at all. You and your team did an excellent job. I have to say congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really pleased with how it came out. I mean, I've had the luxury of being able to program with Lambdas in Java for the last 1.5 years because I've been working not only on the language features, but also the library features. And so, I was one of the guinea pigs. And I have to say, it's really a pleasant thing. It's something that it just feels right, and when looking back, you wonder, how did I ever live without this? It's really going to change the way people program in Java.
Right, so you say it's going to change things. So as I'm a new developer, is this a steep learning curve? Where do I get started? What's a good way to think about it?
Yeah, so a lot of people do sort of have that initial fearful reaction of, oh my God, you're adding big new features, new stuff to learn, I'm not going to be able to read people's code. And the reality is, it's not that bad. There's a few new concepts to learn, but they're natural, and they're also people who have programmed in other languages such as JavaScript or Ruby or Python have already seen a lot of these concepts, and so learning how they're surfaced in Java is not going to be terribly hard. What may take a little bit of time is learning how these features enable you to write better code, because if you have a new tool, it's not necessarily going to work exactly the way the tools that you're used to working with are, and so it may take some time to sort of discover the right technique, but when you get to the other end of that process, people say, I can't imagine going back.
Right, so it's a nice brain stretch, but it's not a brain explosion
right.
or something like that.
And it's not, throw out everything you think you know. It's not that. It's an evolutionary change, but it's a good one.
Okay, so can I take a look at Lambdas right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we've been doing all this work in the open through OpenJDK. So All of the development has been visible. You've been able to download preview builds for for 2 years or so. You can go to OpenJDK and download the developer preview binaries for JDK 8, and it's now in the standard JDK builds. It's not just in the special Lambda build like it used to be while we were building it in the sandbox.
Right, so it's pretty stable, and now now's the time to take
Now
a look at it.
Now
and
is
your
absolutely
team
the
would
time.
love some feedback, right?
Yeah, this is absolutely the time to go and download the JDK 8 builds, try them out. Run them with your existing tests. If spot issues, please report them. This is definitely the time.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for your tireless work. We're delighted to see Lambdas out there. Please download it now and take a look. We can fix things, we can make them better, but we need to do it now before it gets released officially. Thanks.
Thank you, Tori.
Appreciate your time.
Good to see you.
This is Tori Wheel with the Oracle Technology Network. Thank you.